What's going on, YouTube? It's the failed AM DJ coming at you live, MrDeadman. It is hard to do these things in the morning. It really is. I need like 3 cups of coffee to get me going. I do. Anyway, so didn't stream anything last night because I got a family, I got a wife, I got kids. Got to make sure people are happy. Otherwise, your life falls apart. But we got to talk about the Mr. Vickers Fai Fai timeline here. If you're tuning in, all right, we're going to read it. We're going to go through it. Now, some of the people probably have already beaten me to the punch on this one. That's okay. We're going to have fun. We're going to have our fun with this, okay? And we're going to talk about what we think about the whole situation, about Mr. Vickers as a father, about what's going on with Fai Fai and Ralph, who's really in charge in that relationship, because it sounds like, having skimmed through it, it sounds like really Ethan Ralph begged Fai to not do anything about the tape, to come back to him, that he'll do anything for her. Lick that asshole. Lick it clean. Lick that sphincter. Be her toilet paper. You know he loves it. He was smelling. I know I go pretty far in these very graphic depictions, but I want you to really soak it in, what's happening here. Okay. I hope this music is suiting in the background. Let's read this. I'm also going to try not to critique it as a piece of literature, but it's going to happen. I have a problem with it. It's tense. It's confusing. It goes from present tense to past tense. Anyway, September 2001. Faith is born and grows up in Northern California. She is the first of 5 children spawned by Miss V and I, and the first grandchild on both sides of our families. She has stable upbringing in a stable household with 2 parents that have no criminal history or future, and no history or future of drug or alcohol abuse. Faith was taken to every required doctor visit throughout her childhood. By age 3, she went to preschool a few days a week for a few years. Grades K through 3 in one school, and then grades 4 to 8 in another, right across the street. Sounds like a simple life. Sounds nice so far. During grade 7+, Faith began to exhibit problems with discipline in her studies. However, I was very much the same way at that age, bored and more focused on drawing than school. So I didn't think much of it. Miss V, the model student all her life, was much more concerned. Freshman year of high school was very rough. By the end of it, Faith requested to be homeschooled, so we signed her up with a program that allowed her to complete high school mostly online with some on-site labs. There were still a great deal of struggles, and by junior year, she was regularly lying about completing her schoolwork. Now, I want to pause right here. Faith shows a history, a pattern of lying. And I said before that Faith is a manipulator. She's a teenage girl. She manipulates. I'm not blaming Vickers for this. I'm not blaming Vickers or Miss Vickers for this. But I'm saying she started to lie early on. It's like it should have been more susceptible. Should have been more skeptical about what she says or what she said. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. When she was 16, I discovered that she had an online relationship with a YouTuber known as Jebs. When I find out that Jebs is 21, I email him and tell him to stay away from my daughter. I tell him to not contact her again, and that if she contacts him, to ignore her requests. Problem solved, or so I thought. We would not find out until summer 2020 that Jebs and Chris Kerr were the same person. There will be more on this later. However, despite these academic failings, she is sociable, kind, and well-liked by everyone who knows her. In our care, she did not use drugs other than medicinal cannabis products after she turned 18 and got a prescription. And pause right there. I know that's the norm in California and commie land. I guess, I don't know. I can't blame the family for that. But, you know, I don't even think I would give my teenagers medicinal marijuana. I'm like, you guys just want to get high. You guys just want to get high. That's all you want to do. Admittedly, it was not our favorite of her choices. There we go. If she used any other illicit drug, it was not in our house where she spent most of her time. And we never saw physiological signs to indicate otherwise. Not to mention that something like meth is very easy to recognize by the smell. Miss V, having worked in a hospital ER, and me spending time working for a bank branch in a low-income inner-city region of North Sacramento, the burnt plastic smell of a meth user is fairly unmistakable and difficult to conceal. It is. It very much is. Faith barely graduated high school, based solely on an inability to want to do the required work. What do you think about that? What do you think about this so far? She has no learning disability and is quite capable of assimilating knowledge quickly and easily. I had to spend 8 to 10 hours per day, every day, for the final few months of school to make sure that she was doing work and would actually graduate high school. Obviously, we now understand that during that final semester of high school, Faith was basically on Discord all night and attempting to sleep all day. Of course, COVID did not help the situation. Let me pause right here. I gotta tell you something. Parents, you got to screen your kids' messages. You got to screen their messages like you're China. You have to. You might feel weird about it. You might think it's not right. You might think your kids need that freedom. No, they don't. You need to screen their messages. Don't get all paranoid. Don't get all like, what's this about? But if you see something you don't like, if you see something that's questionable, take action. Take some serious action. Official high school. Okay, May 30th. May 30th. That's the timeline here. We're on May 30th now. Official high school graduation. We had family over and watched a pre-recorded ceremony, as high school graduations should be. All are in agreement that it was pretty lame. And ultimately, my heart goes out to all 2020 graduates. That was a shitty way to celebrate a transition to adulthood. June 20th. Faith comes to work with Miss V and I at our coin shop. Midway through the day, Faith asks her mom if she could fly to LA for a week. Her story was as follows. Faith had two very close friends all through school. M, who was a girl, and T was a boy. Now this gets interesting because Dick Masterson, Dax Herrera, is in this timeline here. Who's M? What's the first name of 80s girl? What is the first name of 80s girl? Maria? Something like that? I don't know. And who'd T be? Who's T? Mr. Dickers? Oh, gross. That's so gross. That's so gross. ZXV? That is so gross. I might have to ban you for that. I'm just joking. Anyway, Faith has two very close friends all through school, M and T. And we don't know who they are. It could be that M might be. I'm very concerned about that M right there. I'm very curious about it. As the story goes, T moved into an apartment in Pasadena with a girl who was recently killed in a car accident. M was going to go down for the memorial. No funerals allowed in the area due to COVID. And both M and T had asked if Faith could make it down, as the three of them had not seen each other for quite some time outside of online. Faith offered to pay for her ticket. We gave her some spending money. This was her first trip anywhere as an adult, and essentially on her own, but we figured Baby Bird has to learn how to fly sometime. There is a much longer story to this for later, but obviously, her trip to LA had nothing to do with a dead girl. M was in Michigan during her trip, and T lived in Reno. Okay, so M and T are not even connected. Okay. And a very much living girlfriend he was not living with. Okay, once again, I don't want to pile on Mr. Vickers. You know, right now I imagine he's kind of sore because of this. I gotta say, too trusting of his daughter. If my daughter were to ask me this, I'd be like, who are these friends? What? I don't even know who they are. No. But why do they need you to mourn with them? Pfft, no. Dad, you're the worst dad ever. Good, fine, think I am. You still want me to pay for that car note, right? Am I really the worst dad? Yeah. Too trusting. But, you know, that could be a blessing and a curse. Too trusting. The truth was not discovered. We had no reason to doubt her until nearly a month later. Was that she went to hook up with Ethan Ralph and stayed with him at Dax Herrera's home. The discovery was made not by her admission, but her phone tracking was on the whole time. We knew the address she was staying. It had changed from T's apartment in Pasadena to M's cousin's house in LA. Once Miss V and I had reason to believe that she had been lying to us for some time, we did some brief investigating. A simple free public records search for grant deeds revealed that the house was owned by Dax Herrera, who we discovered quickly was Dick Masterson. And then that story came together very quickly, pretty quickly. But to make up a dead girl, to emotionally goad your parents, and to unwittingly send their daughter into the arms of her almost middle-aged simple boyfriend, that's some Scott Peterson shit. I'm telling you, Faye is a manipulator. You cannot trust her. You cannot trust her. June 28. Faith returns home from an LA trip. June 28. July 2nd. Faith barely comes out of her room. Up all night. Sleeps all day. Oh, no. No, you go in there, you knock on that door. Wake up! Bum, bum, bum! Get up! Get up! Get up! We're doing stuff. Get up! I'm telling you. I might be kind of strict. I might be kind of strict. But that's because I used to work at a psych facility. You got to be strict. You got to adhere to a program. We're doing it. And really, all it usually takes is raising your voice and just giving them redirection. Anyway, July 2nd. Faith asks if she finally comes out of her room and does some cleaning or anything to contribute to the household. Can she fly to Virginia to go to a baby shower for her friend, Adre? 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 What name is that? Just move forward. Don't even ask. We don't know who the hell Adre is. We know that there's no way in hell Faith has the money for a trip to Virginia. Not to mention, after she returned home from LA, she hadn't lifted one finger to help around the house, and her room was quickly becoming a freaking biohazard. We say no to this request. Good for you, Mr. Vickers. Good on you on that. Faith runs away in the dead of night. Now, I don't fault him for this either. I say every parent, before you become a parent, you should work at a psych facility. You should work at a psych facility for many, many years to really get in the heads of these the more extreme cases of these teenagers and know how they operate. You tell them no, oh, they're going to find a way to circumvent. You got to be ready for that. You got to be ready for that. They think they're playing checkers, but you got to play chess. You know, you got to, oh yeah, you're going to run away. Guess what? I'll be right there by that door. Where are you going? You going back to bed. That's where you're going. You know, you gotta talk crazy to them sometimes. Anyway, July 9th. Faith runs away in the dead of night. Her oldest brother, B1, age 15, and I discovered that she's not in the house. Sometimes she goes on a morning walk. But I have a pit in my stomach that tells me this is not the case. I get in our vehicle and go looking for her while B1 reaches out to friends online. Faith has turned off the tracking on her phone and has all of us, parents and brothers, blocked. B1 receives feedback from L, an online friend, former boyfriend, that confirms that Faith did indeed leave home and left a note taped to her desk chair. The note states, in summary, an image will come later, that her family has a toxic dynamic, which is pretty much teenage girl for, I want to get out of here. You know, that's all that is. That's all it is. Wow, me. You know, whenever they say that, you know, Vickers must have the patience of a saint. I'm going to tell you something. You might not like it, but here in Texas, it is legal. If this was my daughter, if she talked to me a weird way, oh, she would have been popped in the mouth. It would have been so fast she wouldn't even know what's coming. She'd look at me. It wouldn't leave a bruise. Wouldn't leave a mark. It'd be like a... They start breaking down. They're like, you hit me. It's like, no. Yeah. Because you said what? You did what? Anyway. Different type of parenting. Anyway, toxic dynamic. And she's moving to Virginia. She's moving to Virginia to an even more toxic house. To the Gunt. She's moving to the Toxic Avenger. Man, the Gunt needs its own horror movie. I was thinking about that today. Man, I think my next deep fried horror submission call is going to be called The Gunt. And it's going to all be horror stories based on Ethan Ralph on The Gunt. I want Toxic Avenger type bizarro shit. I'll pay for that. I'll do a post on that soon, and I'll let you guys know. I think you guys will enjoy that. Okay, we'll have some fun. We can only find... Let's back up. Okay. She plans to get a job and go to school, still wanting to become a teacher. Well, that ship is sailed. That ship is fucking sailed. That ship has sunk because of that sex tape, because of the Gunt. I sent her some generic email along the lines of, "You're an adult, and you're going to do what you're going to do. We think it's a bad idea, but whatever. After the adrenaline wears off, and we have some time to chew on what has been presented to us, Miss V and I know that her story doesn't make sense. We could only find one or two of the girls that could be known as Adre and her Facebook friend list, but no one is pregnant, and no one lives in Virginia." July 10th. Having a day to digest all the new information, and fearing that this all may be a poorly, though, out romantic interest. Poorly thought out romantic interest. Sorry. Mr. Vickers, it's not really, this has not been proofread. We send a new emoji to Faith, explaining that she had taken her phone, our property, her computer, our property, our special Disney suitcase. Hell, even she took her little brother's B2 11-year-old's shoes because she couldn't find her own in the mess she created in her room. And honestly, that made me laugh a little because B2 was pissed. Who steals their little brother's shoes? Faith, Faith, Faith! You are not just a harlot and a whore, a Jezebel. You are a disaster. You are a thief. You don't care about your life. You don't care if you get knocked up by some greasy trash burger eating alcoholic. But you'll steal your little brother's shoes. What scum? What scum? What fucking scum? Anyway. And we know about this. We've seen those messages. Needless to say, our gambit paid off. Within 5... Oh, what's there? Okay. And we value these things that broke the felony level of California criminal theft liability of $950, and that we were going to press charges and basically treat her like an adult. This was a bluff, of course, but we hoped that it would scare Faith and draw out an overly protective, young, and thus immature boyfriend to whom she had fled. Needless to say, our gambit paid off. Within 5 minutes of our threat, we were met with a very aggressive email from an anonymous, almost certainly male person whose email name should be known as Rad Roberts. Showed up as Rad Roberts. Wow. The message was this: "You don't know me, but I'm going to let you know something. I know about you abusing your daughter. I have money. I will pay for legal fees for the bullshit you try to start. Although the cops will laugh at you out of the situation, most likely. I am very well known online. And you'll be well known, too, by the end of this. There is proof of your abuse, and many told about it when it happened." That's great. So, threat. Ethan Ralph thinks he's something, huh? I will post the remainder of my conversation with Mr. Roberts in the privilege information section of this site. But there are two things I know. First, there is no proof that I abused anyone, for it has never happened. And second, obviously, I was dealing with some young internet star. Well, I got 1 out of 2 correct. In his anonymous email, Rad Roberts all but told us exactly who he was, as Faith was too naive to lock up her Facebook account before she left. And there was Ethan Ralph's smiling face linked to his site, linked to his Instagram. Behold, a picture of a car in front of a restaurant, and there was a car with a Virginia license plate. And a Google search of the restaurant showed that its location, Richmond, Virginia. Not exactly how long the mediocre detective work took, but we'd ordered a pizza. What? Okay. Sorry, some of these sentences, I'm like, what? Not sure exactly how long the mediocre detective work took, but if we'd ordered a pizza. Okay. Anyway. I don't know if Mr. Vickers is a professional writer, but anyway. Background check. Looking for sex offender. Thankfully, did not come up. Or I would have been to VA, Virginia, and been back to California before anyone found his body. But it's not like there's a clean criminal background, as many who are reading this already know. First thing that stuck out, of course, was his age. Certainly, Faith would not have chosen a 34-year-old man as a love interest. Perhaps Faith was indeed helping Edge Ray raise a baby, and was just good friends with this low-level E-celebrity, who had become to think of her as a little sister. Denial is a fantastic thing when you're still trying to think of the best of your little girl. Before we could call him out, Faith was still blocking us. We wanted a little more proof that she was with him. That was the night of the Killstream karaoke. I could not stomach to watch. I had some friends monitor while Miss V and I went to my mother's house where my brother and his family was visiting. I got handily tanked, not a common practice for me, while Miss V got emotional support from my mother, her mother, and her sister-in-law. July 11th. What do you guys think of this so far? What do you guys think of this? I know I've been neglecting chat. I've been reading this. I like the story. Like I said, I'm not going to try to dog on the grammatical issues or whatever. It's not that, It's not that. It's fine. It's fine. Incidentally, July 11th. Incidentally, this was Miss V and my 22nd wedding anniversary. We pretty much forgot about it. By morning, my friends had sent me links to the archive stream with timestamps of Ralph saying Faith's name several times. And then the coup de grace. Faith singing some song from an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I admittedly mistaken for a Fiona Apple song. Music is not my thing. Well, that confirmed it. So I made sure Ralph knew that I knew who he was and that we knew Faith was with him. July 12th to July 30th. Lots of drama that will be revealed in later sections as we maintained fairly regular communication with Faith and easy at best communications with Ralph. Faith shared a lot of truths with me personally during this time, many of which were later revealed to be lies, including that Chris Kerr was harassing and stalking her, and revealed that Chris and Jeeves were the same person. I asked her if she wanted me to deal with it. She declined. This is a cover. She's lying, she's trying to manipulate, trying to distract, trying to change the conversation to something else. She declined. You know who also does that? Meth heads. Meth heads do that all the time. I can't go in detail what I do for a living, but whenever I work with meth heads, the first thing they do is they change the conversation all the time. Anyway, she declined. It is important to note that as a show of good faith, pun, she had tracking enabled on her phone the whole time she was in Richmond. Though, to be fair, Miss V was intent on calling the police to do a welfare check the second her tracking was turned off, a fact that both Faith and Ralph were aware of. At no time did Ralph attempt to keep Faith from communicating with us, despite there being some fairly nasty exchanges between he and I. This is not me coming to his defense, just stating a fact. I'm sure I would have nasty exchanges with him. Honestly, he would probably be dead. He'd probably be 6 feet under, or in a pig pen, or in a barrel, or maybe in a dumpster with a bunch of cheeseburgers. Bury him how he wants to be buried, right? Give him the trash burger funeral. He doesn't even deserve that. Anyway, July 31st, Faith tells me that Chris is harassing her and asks me to contact his dad. The night turns into a clusterfuck of nonsense where I reach out to Chris's dad, and he learns that Chris was dating Faith as a minor, and he basically kicks Chris's ass, takes his phone, changes the Wi-Fi password in the house. Chris continues to message Faith, and Faith continues to send me screenshots of the DMs, which indicate a clearly unstable young man. This goes on for a good part of the night, ending with me filing a police report against Chris for the continued harassment, and tell Faith to do the same. Now imagine this. So Faith still needs her dad to protect her, but she's with Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph can't protect her from this Chris guy. August 3rd, Monday. The A drama. Faith pitches Faith pitches to us that Ralph used her to cheat on Aid. Story looks legit, and obviously, I'm not motivated to convince her. Oh, sorry, I am motivated to convince her. Jeez, I might need some coffee. God dang. Hold on. Coffee break. Hold on. What do you guys think of this so far? This is sweet nectar. trying to build up my reading voice for this. It really needs a gentlemanly read. Like that. And it really needs that New England accent. I'm horrible with voices. Faith pitches to us that Ralph used her to cheat on Aid. Story looks legit. And obviously, I'm motivated to convince her. Faith, apparently very young at being used by Ralph, she tells us that she's out. Miss V in my heart sing a merry song. Sure, I wish she would have realized all the other stuff wrong with her freak show relationship, but I'll take a win wherever I can at this point. I transfer $800 to her bank account. I book her a room at the Richmond Westin, 4 stars and like $140 a night. Richmond is not without some charm. The checkout on Friday, the 7th. Extra money for food and entertainment. Faith agrees and says she will leave Ralph in the morning. My instructions to Faith are to not tell Ralph where she's gone and to block all contact with him. She agrees. Now, time out. We know Faith is a liar. They know Faith is a liar. They know liar. How can they trust Faith? What just happened with the stream? It like disconnected for a second. Anyway, they know Faith is a liar. They know their daughter is a liar. How can they trust her? How can they trust her? But she's been gone she's been gone. She ran away. Maybe they're just hoping. Maybe there's. Okay. August 4th, Tuesday. We ask Faith if she wants us to buy her a ticket home, or if she would rather that we come out and pick her up. Faith says she wants us to come and pick her up. At this time, we cannot get away from work until Thursday night. I propose that we pick Faith up from Richmond and then go to DC. Oh, I had a pop-up message pop up. Anyway, I propose that we pick Faith up from Richmond and then go to DC. Take 3 nights at the Trump Hotel. See some sights. Neither Miss V and myself have been to DC. Spend some time reconnecting and working some shit out before we bring her back home and get her help for her depression and anxiety. Faith enthusiastically agrees to this plan. We buy 2 tickets to arrive in Richmond on Friday afternoon and 3 tickets to fly back from DC on Tuesday. We book our own room at the Westin for Friday night, transfer $200 into Faith's account to extend her own checkout at the Westin until Saturday. I book a room for all 3 of us at the Trump Hotel in DC for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night, checking out Tuesday and flying home Tuesday afternoon. That was the plan. August 7th, Friday. Miss V and I board our flight from California with a short layover in Dallas. And that's where we hit our first hiccup. Suddenly, we're communicating with Faith. We notice that her tracking is turned off. After she makes up a bullshit story about her phone showed it was fine. She was trying to reset her phone. Her explanation was that her new friend May was taking her out on the town to help her deal with the breakup. Miss V is suspicious and wants to talk to her on the phone. More bullshit about how she wants to wait for May to pull over because May cannot drive if Faith is on the phone. What the fuck? So, obviously, this is all lies. I tell Faith that we know she is lying and to just come clean. She says that she's taking an Uber to Ralph's to grab some stuff that she forgot to grab. So there's already more lies before our plane lands in Virginia. Neither Miss V and I are pleased. We land in Virginia, take fucking forever to get our rental, and get to the hotel about 6:30, 7 p.m. We let Faith know that we've arrived. But lo and behold, it is so sad. What do y'all think about this so far? They tried to trust her. They did. They tried to trust her. Would you trust her? Would you trust Faith this much? What would you do? Anyway. I'm not trying to neglect you guys. I'm just reading this. Anyway. August 8th, Saturday. Operation Get the Fuck Out of Richmond. I like this guy. That's kind of how I think. Operation Get the Fuck Out of Richmond. I wonder if he plays Command and Conquer. I wonder if we could... If he... No, there's no way. He can't be a Command and Conquer fan. If so, we have to have a round. We have to have a match off. There's no way. Faith takes forever to get ready, not leaving her room until several minutes after checkout. Hugs all around, but I noticed Faith's face when hugging her mouth is void of any emotion, despite her mother face breaking with tears. I write this off as if she understandably uncomfortable after the many truth lies that came out between July 12th and July 30th. That's a long time. That's a whole month of lies. That's a whole month of lies, ladies and gentlemen. On Faith's recommendation, we have launched the Founding Farmers. Oh, sorry. We have lunch at the Founding Farmers. She chose well. Dang it, I need coffee or something. What the fuck is wrong with me? Hold on, let me get some coffee. Might need a fucking morning cigar. Or maybe a shot. I'll tell you what. Shot glass here. I'll gladly take a shot for, something nice. Something nice. I think the super chat works. I'll just put it that way. Anyway. By nature, I'm a jovial fellow. I imagine so. As such, by the time we're on the road for a few minutes, some well-placed gunt jokes, and making a good deal about getting a soda from Hardee's has everyone in a pretty good mood, and we're reconnecting. Mind you, I in particular am trying really hard because I spent July 12th to 30th learning that this girl had been telling everyone she thought I'd never met. Telling everyone she thought that I'd never met that I was physically abusive all her life. The length and severity of the abuse changed from person to person. We checked into the Trump Hotel. It's magnificent. The spectacular customer service. We have a great time. And we have a great time. With not much to go out and do anything. We decided to order some room service, watch some TV. Okay. August 9th, Sunday. We got up. We got out. Knocked some stuff off our mutual bucket list: Washington Monument, WW2 Memorial, Reflecting Pool, Lincoln Memorial, just before Lincoln got slammed with a sudden rainstorm. Okay, this stuff is nice. So they had a nice out. Okay. Faith asks if she can go have dinner with her friends May and Gray. Yes, I now know who they are because it's supposedly Gray's birthday. My red flag bullshit meter starts going crazy because, of course, I've been monitoring Kiwi farm boards and have it on pretty good authority that Ralph will be at this dinner. I explain this to Faith, that she immediately drops the idea and says, fuck no, I don't want anything to do if he's going to be there. Timeout. Remember the Storyfire videos of Ethan, Ralph, and Faye going to DC? This was around that same time, right? Was it not? He was there the whole time. He was in the shadows. The Gunt was in the shadows. Yeah. Nora, give me some fucking coffee, damn it. You're my slave now. I keep slaves in here, I do. But she doesn't work. I need to fucking fire her. I mean, she's a slave. How am I going to fire her? That was horrible, a horrible joke. But honestly, I wouldn't even have Nora as a slave. She's too ugly for that. She's too fucking ugly for that. Anyway. Let's move on. Unfortunately, Miss V slips into the tub at the hotel, getting ready for a dinner reservation at the Capitol Grill. She can't go, so Faith and I figured that some father-daughter time is probably a good idea. I like everything about the restaurant: low lighting, great atmosphere, and a bunch of animal head trophies on the wall. He's a hunter as well. Could it be possible? One of the reasons why I reached out to Mr. Vickers to talk non-drama is to let him know, look, if I could get him on the show, I don't want to talk drama. And I mean that. I want to talk about guns. I want to talk about cigars. I want to talk about nerd stuff. I want to talk about horror stuff. I want to do that. We could do that. I think we could do that. I think we made that happen. Anyway. I make a passing reference to how the restaurant was exactly how I planned to decorate my Gunt dungeon. But I would put his head to the right of the elk, and his Gunt to the left, because the Gunt deserves its own trophy space. Faith seemed a little irritated by my musings. I admittedly not the funniest guy in the world, but I expect that joke to land. Okay, the dad murdering loser ex-boyfriend jokes had probably run their course. No, they don't run their course. That's a dad joke. She should have laughed. She didn't because she's still in love with him. Anyway, I could read a room, so I backed off. The rest of the dinner went swimmingly. Back to the hotel, and I went to sleep. Since July 9th, I have not slept well. So I was up monitoring Kiwi forums, seeing if I could get more insight. And that's when I saw a post that Ralph said that she would be back to him Monday by 4 p.m. Well, that's not good. I slept with one eye open most of that night. August 10th, Monday. I got up early. If I slept at all, honestly, don't remember. And told Miss V that I was worried Faith was planning to find a way to get back to Virginia. Miss V had the same feeling of doom. So, game time. Like a sly, fat, white ninja, I slipped a Faith's phone from her hand. Yes, she fucking sleeps with her phone clutched in her goddamn hand. While she was sleeping, and managed to get her laptop as well. Once I had them both, I locked them in a hotel safe. Good for you. Naturally, when Faith awoke, she didn't say anything at first, but started searching the hotel like she was missing her heart medication. Eventually, I told her what I had done. Miss V and I told her that we thought it would be nice to do a trust exercise and see if she could go 24 hours disconnected. Oh, Faith is overdue for a trust exercise. Really, she is. I mean, she trusted him. Trusted him too much, right? Sorry, I was checking some emails. Okay, we're good. Anyway. So, trust exercise. Just one day. Obviously, we were leaving Tuesday, so our goal here should seem clear. Faith did not like this idea one bit. So I gave her a notebook and asked her to write every major catastrophe that would have happened in 24 hours if she didn't have her devices. I'll share that list and my privileged information, part of this site, later. While she was writing down her ridiculous list, I emailed Ralph and told him that I appreciated that he was going to mail back the items that Faith did not have the opportunity to grab, that I wanted to find a way to send him money for the shipping. Oh, Mr. Vickers, why? Why would you do that? Man, this guy is too nice. Mr. Vickers' sin is that he's too nice and too trusting. Oh. He's so nice and trusting. Okay. Ralph responded quickly, very confused, confessing that he had not been under the impression that Faith was coming back. That led to a meltdown of discovery and lies so unbelievable that it deserves its own separate section, which I will include some elsewhere in this site. For the sake of brevity here, let's just say that Faith was telling Ralph since day one that she was returning to him. She was telling us the whole time that she was coming back with us. Someone was getting grifted, and neither of us really know who it was. Many things were said, but what ultimately happened was the classic go-to Faith card when she wants attention. Once to create a false persona, once to get out of consequences. She threatened self-harm and said she felt like killing herself. Personally, I called bullshit in my head, but kept my mouth shut. I knew that Miss V also was calling bullshit in her head, but we don't fuck around with stuff like that. So Miss V said, well, then you're going to go to a hospital right now for a psych evaluation. Is that what you want to do? Faith nodded. Faith nodded her sad, weepy head, and we took her to George Washington University Hospital. And let me time out here. That's what these teenage girls do, man. They will use self-harm and suicide as a way to get out of stuff. Okay? It's horrible. Horrible. Anyway. One moment here. I'm going to change one thing here. There we go. More soothing music. More soothing. I drove to Faith and Miss V at the emergency room and found a parking garage. After getting lost, trapped in a stairwell of all things for 30 minutes and feeling quite the fool, I understand quite clearly about that. My job, I bounced around from hospital place to place. Oh, God. You just sort of go through the moment. Anyway, I finally tasted sweet freedom and found my way back to the hospital where I met Miss V outside. Miss V used to work in admissions at an emergency room, so she knew that waiting in an initial psych eval would take a while. So we set out on foot to find a place to have lunch. Less than an hour into her being at the hospital, Ralph reached out to me because she had called him. We went back and forth, and it was cordial, but he confessed serious doubts about their relationship and that it had started with lies. No shit. By now, Faith had told Ralph the truth that she did not come from an abusive home, and that Chris had started leaking this stuff, so Ralph was getting a pretty look at the real picture. We went back and forth, with myself and Miss V, essentially pleading with Ralph to let us take her home and get her help, because she was obviously very sick. Just not in the way she had presented to others. Depression, anxiety, self-harm, suicidal ideations. Ralph seemed to agree, but was so caught up in the emotional sunken cost fallacy that he still said that he would take her back if she asked him. Miss V and I made it clear to him, as we made it very clear to Faith before we took her to the hospital, that should she decide to go back with Ralph, especially after summoning us across country like willing fools on a false rescue mission, the consequence would be severe. She would be disowned. She would have no further contact with her brothers. She would receive no inheritance, especially if we were ever overrun and murdered by gun guards. There would be no more contact if Faith chose to not be part of our family, and in fact, abuse our family. She would be treated as any other adult who had done the things she had done. What would I do to another adult who spread lies that I was an abuser? Further, Faith certainly would not be covered by our insurance. And even if I wanted to, it would be out of our control, because she would no longer be our dependent and not enrolled in school in Virginia full time. That means that the claim from the hospital would be rejected. This was explained to Ralph because Faith refused to return our calls while she was in the hospital. So that's going to be a big ass bill that hits her when our insurance rejects the claim. By the time we were done with our back and forth with Ralph, we found ourselves only a few blocks from the hotel. So we took a nap, waited for a call from the hospital. Hearing nothing by that evening, I went back and grabbed the rental out of the haunted Hellraiser reference. Good motherfucker. Good job. Hellraiser Maze the parking garage. I swear, I know I'm a horror nerd too. If I get Mr. Vickers on the show on the deadmanstome podcast, you know we're just talking horror, right? I'm not talking about drama. You know that. If I'm able to land that, we're just talking horror. In the meanwhile, I'll be looking at the chat, smiling, knowing you guys want me to talk drama. But we're talking horror. That'd be fun. I just like that. That'd be funny. I think you would like that too. Anyway. Sorry. That does sound like DSP. Jeez. I've got major gal problems, guys. Man, this is a long story. Okay, we're almost here. We're almost done. August 11th, Tuesday. I awoke to some pretty horrific shit that slammed my Twitter account in my email. Hey, thanks for the $1.99. That's nice. I don't know if that's shot worthy. I'll tell you what. That's half shot worthy. I'll take a half shot. That's what I'll do. A little baby shot for that. Okay. Of Kraken. There you go. Baby shot. This is like what you get when you go to like church on Sunday if you're Catholic, right? Baby shot. Anyway. August 11th. Wasn't that the day of the sex tape? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Let me check my work emails. That is very important. Okay. Yes, I do have a very important job. And that was clearly soda. I woke to some pretty horrific shit that slammed my Twitter account. Oh, and also for the record, for anyone who's curious, any gun guards, I'm off today. So, there you go. Anyway, should have fined those who thought it necessary to send me those links as a funny joke. Faces will be broken, but I suspect that I'll never have the pleasure. A quick analysis of a still image to compare the room with pictures of Ralph's shack on Zillow. Yeah, okay, this is the sex tape. He's talking about the sex tape. I immediately texted Ralph, asked him how the hell this had happened, to which he responded with a quick, I don't know, maybe my phone was hacked. Dude, is your face and teeth clean? Whatever. My face and teeth? My face is clean. It should be clean. Should be clean. My teeth? Yeah, my teeth are clean. I brushed my teeth last night. I've been drinking coffee. Probably have coffee. Dude, is your face clean? It's hot in this fucking garage. And I'll take another baby shot for that too. Okay. $2, a little bit more. My fancy studio's in my garage. There's no AC in here. And I live in Texas. That's why my face glistens. It is bad. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is Ralph gonna say he was hacked. My phone was hacked. One of my friends has been helping me monitor kiwi farms had already gathered the most pertinent information. And before long, I had enough evidence to see that Ralph obviously released revenge porn on my daughter. And also he could look like a big man to Chris. And possibly, if not probably, was pissed at Faith for her own part in the deception. Originally, intending to keep this fucking horror show from Miss V for as long as possible, I figured, what's the point? And woke her up to tell her what was going on. Needless to say, she was not pleased. Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. $10. $10. Okay. Wow, that's a full shot there. That's a full shot of Kraken. You should be checking chat, sure. Okay. Your juice. I guess I'll make you a mod. I guess I can do that. You're a trustworthy guy. I trust you. There we go. Doesn't get me in trouble. You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. That's good. Okay. Oh. Gotta read this, though. Oh. You know what I had for breakfast? Oatmeal. That's it. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be healthier. Oh, God damn it. So you know it's bad. You know it's practically empty. Okay. So he's trying to keep the sex tape away from Miss V. How do you think Miss V reacted? What do you think her reaction was? Imagine being the mom of an 18-year-old, a lying 18-year-old. How would you react if your 18-year-old had a sex tape with a fucking gun? We checked out of the Trump Hotel, and we went straight to the embassy suites, where we were able to check in early. While checking in, Miss V got a call from the hospital, reported the revenge porn to them, and learned that they wanted to have a family meeting scheduled for the next day. By now, Ralph was agreeing that continuing a relationship was a bad idea for his career. That's rich. And had sent me a text confirming that he would break it off and convince her to go home with us. Reports from Ralph confirmed that she is calling him constantly, absolutely refusing to come home with us and begging to go back with him. This was after she had learned about the revenge porn. We accepted this as truth, and it was because she was not returning her calls. Doctors call and tell us that the family meeting will not be happening because Faith refuses to speak with us. You know, the tense is kind of, like I said, it's kind of a mess, but it is what it is. They are still not going to release her. She continues to call Ralph at every opportunity, and by now she's confessing to be afraid of what she'll do to him regarding the video. Let's back this up. Ethan Ralph is confessing to be afraid of what Faith will do to him regarding the video. If Ethan Ralph doesn't cave, doesn't simp, doesn't worship, doesn't beg, doesn't bow to every whim. So Ethan Ralph is a simp to Faith for his career. Ethan Ralph, based on that mentality, he could easily become a cuck. He could be a cuck. He's a beta simp. He's a beta simp. A beta fucking simp. How does that sit with you? That doesn't sit well with me. But it makes sense. What the fuck? I don't care. He's a beta simp. Who cares? Right? We saw that coming. Ah, shit. Anyway. So be it. We are scheduled to fly out on Friday, figuring that they would not hold her past Thursday, so we figured, that it's over. All right, let's see. Let's go back. Let's move forward. August 13th. Actually, let's go back up a little bit, because there's a part where Chris actually began a relationship with Faith when she was a child, with 16, and was grooming her. So Chris Kerr, the guy people said he was a half king, he's not a half king. Chris Kerr is also a child's bride groomer. He grooms kids too. So I told you I don't have anything against Godwinson PPP, but I think Godwinson is too generous with his praise. Chris Kerr does not deserve that crown. He does not. It is a false crown. It's a crown of shit. Anyway, August 13th, Thursday. We get a call from the docks. Faith has had apparent change of heart, and now she will do the family meeting. This meeting will be conducted over the phone thanks to COVID, which is scheduled for Friday, the same day we're supposed to fly out. So we extend our trip by an additional 3 days. By now, I have ceased communication with both Ralph and Chris. Good. August 14th, Friday, 11 a.m., family meeting. Attending Doc is good. He gives Miss V and I a chance to speak, and then a chance for Faith to respond, and vice versa. He's trying to pitch her a simple truth. Faith claims that she wants to get better. In California, there is health insurance, additional resources, a large network of stable family and friends. The state might be a shithole, but I guess that's the best. It's definitely better than a crack shack in Virginia. I'm just adding that part. She can continue her relationship long distance with Ralph if her new therapist approves. But if she is interested in getting healthy, the way of California makes more sense. The way of Virginia, there is no health insurance, significantly reduced network of friends, and zero family. Faith has no skills to get a job that will provide health insurance, especially not in this COVID job market. Ralph is a felon who will have an even harder time finding a job that will provide insurance. Is that why he shaved his hair? Is that why he shaved his head? If so, they could take hair from any other part of the body, and that would work just fine. Anyway, it is highly dubious that his income level will pay for a private plan. Ours costs about $2,650 per month. Though, granted, we have way more dependents. Yes, it would be cheaper in most circumstances to just cash pay for everything, but here's the gimmick. Miss V has chronic illness that requires a great deal of attention and lab testing. The local labs won't even schedule an appointment if you don't have health insurance, so it is what it is. The point is, California is a good plan for a healthy Fae. Virginia is a bad plan for a healthy Fae. This just went in one ear and out the other. Faith adamantly refused to return to California because it was too toxic, and God bless the doc. He had the insight to ask what toxic means. I got, Mr. Vickers, you're being so generous too. That's not insight. That's basic interview skills. That's what caseworkers, that's what doctors, that's what therapists do. That's basic. You ask them, what do you mean by that? And you really explore it. You really explore it. But, okay. Now, granted, some people don't do the job anymore, so I guess makes those that do look like they have skill, more skill. I could almost see the look on her face over the phone as she thought to herself, oh, fuck. How am I going to explain this? Her answer was something along the lines of, I'm just going to get depressed again, and I'm staying in my room all day. Of course, the doctor pointed out that Miss V and myself had a great deal of new information now, and the whole reason we wanted her back in California was the sole purpose of getting her help. Faith still refused, and the doc basically told her that he would not discharge her until she could give him an adequate game plan for dealing with her mental health. He doesn't discharge anyone on the weekend anyway, so she would have to stay until Monday at the earliest. We would all call, we would all check in then. It was also mentioned to Faith by the doctor that her dream of being a teacher was all but ruined now that Ralph had leaked the sex video. We've all seen what happens to teachers if a sex tape of them is discovered. I'm sorry. Look, I know I'm reading this and it sounds like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I'm gotta tell you, man, like the grammar is not perfect, but it is what it is, right? Sorry, Mr. Vickers, not shaming you on that. It is what it is. Hey, and if you go looking at one of the deep fried horror issues, you might find stories that I've written that aren't that great, but I digress. Faith admits to consenting to the Faith admits to consenting to the video being made, but specifically says she did not consent to the tape being leaked. She says that she believes Ralph's story of a hacked phone. Bullshit. Bullshit. Even the doctor explains that, while possible, it is highly improbable. So as we are scheduled to leave on Monday, we extend our trip by one more day, so that we wouldn't miss a potential opportunity to hopefully bring Faith home. Though our hope by now had all but certainly completely waned that she would see reason. The resident doc, who we had been speaking with, called us back to explain that they were going to try their best to convince her, but that Faith was able to sign an AMA against medical advice form and leave if she wanted, but that even if she did, it would be 48 hours until she could be released. However, the doc also stated that they were conveniently not mentioning that piece of information. Assumed that Faith did not know about the AMA forms, as she'd been quite anxious to leave the hospital and return to Virginia for days. I mean, there's some things there. I mean, psych hospitals do that, and they play funny games with that stuff. I'm sure it's not ethical. I'm sure it's not even legal for them to do that. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. What would Nick Rekieta say about that? Is that even legal? I don't know. It's kind of like what he says. You gotta verify with another lawyer anyway. Anyway, but I could tell you from personal experience, mental hospitals, they do play these games. All right, August. What do you guys think about this? Is Faith Mr. Medicare? August 15th, Saturday. Spend most of the day updating family on the situation. Not fun. August 16th, Sunday. Miss V and I said, fuck it, because we're tired of the situation. Tired of sitting around in the hospital all day. We went to George Washington's Mount Vernon. Wow, maybe I am a little tipsy. Dang it, guys. See what you did? See what you did? I guess I only have myself to blame. It is a spectacular destination and highly recommended that you visit if you have the opportunity. Had a chance to get the other kids some souvenirs and some thank you gifts to grandmas for helping out while we were gone for more than twice as long as we'd planned. Look at that. Mr. Vickers is a family man through and through. He's very trustworthy. He's too trustworthy. He's too trustworthy, too nice. Jovial. He was right about that. He's too nice. He's like a Santa Claus of niceness. Do you get what I'm saying there? He's too giving. He is. August 17th, Monday. Dog cause. Face signed out AMA. Dog almost in tears. Wishes that there was more she could tell us. And probably shouldn't even be telling us that. But wanted us to know. Miss V completely bummed, as am I. The battle was officially lost. Summer had been stolen from the other children. Faith, how dare you? I said this before. You could be a harlot and a whore. You could be a Jezebel. You could fuck the gunt. You could ride that fucking gunt. You robbed the shoes from your 11-year-old brother. And you robbed Summer from your brothers, from your siblings. How dare you? You fucking thief. You fucking me thief. Mr. Vickers, I said this earlier. In California, it's not allowed for you to slap your child. It's seen as abuse. In Texas, don't leave a mark. Don't leave a mark and set them straight. Maybe that would have worked. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't blame Mr. Vickers here. Faith is a whole other obstacle, a whole other monster. Honestly, I've said this before. I used to work at a psych facility for like a number of years. She reminds me of many clients I've worked with before. I got to tell you, with those clients, you gotta be really strict on the privileges, really strict on the restrictions, right? And if they test you and they think you're playing games, you got to be willing to restrain and seclude. And there, you can restrain, and seclude. Hey, it is what it is. I guess you can't do that in California. I don't know. And in Texas. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. We're almost at the end here. August 18th, Tuesday. Fly back to California. Plan for war. Okay. Let me soak this in. August 18th. Fly back to California. Plan for war. Faith still needs help, but she doesn't think so, obviously. Ralph knows Faith needs help, but is too afraid of her because deep down, she's a 15-year-old boy. No. See, deep down, he's a 15-year-old boy who doesn't know better than to not drink himself stupid and make awful decisions. Faith is not a good person. That much is true now. She didn't go for the kill, just cutting ties. She went for the pain. Ethan Ralph committed a crime. He released a pornographic video without the consent of the other person in the video. If he thinks that is defamation, he could come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. I would love a civil suit. Oh, I would love a civil suit where my attorney can cross-examine you on the details of how you did not commit that crime. My invitation to you, brother, is that you take me on and clear your name. Well, we both know that won't happen. We both know how that will end. Obviously, I'm adding stuff for flair. After 6 weeks, after 6 grueling, long weeks of struggling with our faith, Miss V and I lost our faith. Always end with a pun. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Finally done. Wow, that took an hour and 15 minutes. Wow. All right, guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And some of you guys are new to this channel. Feel free to subscribe and stick around. Internet drama is not the only thing I do. I do talk about horror stuff as well. Okay. And I hope you like it. I try to be genuine, try to be true, try to be honest. That's my thing, if you want to call it a thing, you know. I think some people in the chat once said, "Oh, man, you put yourself on your sleeve too much. You kind of expose yourself too much." That's just who I am. That's how I am. That's how I roll. Anyway, let's see. Use a phone book. Thank godness for Texas. Okay, I found it. Be right back. Okay, look at the chat. Gun war only consumes. This is hard. This is hard. It is. You're right. Ralph is totally screwed. Ralph better keep things going with faith. Otherwise, that sex tape will come back to haunt him. That's the truth. I'm going to tell you something. I am kind of glad that Faith went back. I said before, I'm concerned about her. And I mean that. And I meant that when I said that. I actually did feel for her. And I actually did. Sounds cringy. Oh my God. That I actually did pray for her. Like, why would you do that? Why would you pray for some random thought? She went back to the gun. She gets what she deserves. She gets what she deserves. She made her bed. Now she lies in it. She can't blame anybody else but herself. What happens next is on her. She's never going to be a teacher, but I don't know. Dick Masterson's girlfriend is a teacher. How's that possible? How's that possible? Right? Dick Masterson is a cheese pizza connoisseur, and I don't mean pizza. I mean, Dick Masterson surrounds himself with pedos and shit. That's weird, man. That's weird. That's getting awfully close. How would you feel if Dick Masterson's girlfriend was teaching your kids? That's the only argument you need for homeschool. If you know anything about their situation, that's the only thing you need to hear to convince you to just homeschool. That's it. That's it. Ethan, Ralph, or Faye will die when this ends. Who will be? Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph will. Faith is crazy. She's psychotic. Ralph does not know how to deal with that. He does not know how to deal with that. I'm willing to bet Faith has it in her to kill Ethan Ralph. Push comes to shove. Faith is fucking crazy. If she has kids, she shouldn't have kids. She's going to drown them. She's going to be like Andrea fucking Yates. By the way, Andrea Yates went to the psych hospital that I used to work at. Whoa! Follow that. I just doxed myself, bro. It doesn't matter. It's old stuff. It's old stuff. Oh, god dang. Let's see. So Andrea Yates used to go to outpatient clinic. The doctor she went to was the same doctor that saw the other clients. It's funny. It's funny. I was like, man, small world. Wow. I didn't even know that when it worked there. I was like, man. She would be a psychotic mom. Some people say that they get like Casey Anthony vibes from her. I get it too. She's loony. She's crazy. She's a manipulator. She will manipulate you. She doesn't care about your emotions. She is a fucking sociopath. The only thing Faith cares about are her feelings. Look, Ethan, Ralph, I don't like you. I don't. Clip this out. Clip this out if you want to. And you can send it to Ethan, Ralph. Look, Ethan, Ralph, you know I don't like you. But let me tell you something, bro. Okay? You don't know what you're dealing with Faith. She's fucking crazy. I worked for 4 years at a psych hospital. I saw crazy people all the fucking time. The eyes of crazy people all the time. The patterns, the behaviors. And everything Faith has done. The lying, the manipulating, the cucking you. The using you, using her family, using her simp cucked meth head boyfriend, whoever he was. Ignore all the shit I said about you, Ethan, Ralph. Just listen to this, man. She's gonna kill you. She's gonna fucking ruin you. You're trapped. She's going to fucking destroy you. And you know that. You can't slap her around and knock sense into her because that's illegal. You can't do that. And you know what she's going to do if you do that. You can't break up with her because that sex tape will come out. She'll say something about you. You know she's a fucking liberal. What the fuck? You know she's fucking progressive. Ethan, man, what are you doing? What are you goddamn doing? I don't care about you. I think if you die of a heart attack or drink yourself to death, it's whatever. Good. I'll maybe celebrate. But I can tell you this. You're fucked, man. You're fucked. You better sleep with a knife under your pillow. You can have a gun. Not allowed to. But if you have access to one, shh. Don't say anything. You better sleep. You better have that under your pillow. You better be ready to defend yourself because one day, Faith is going to try to pull a knife on you. Anyway, that's it. She's blackmailing Ralph. You know it. This is why I'm really happy that she's there. Because we're not going to see... Man, Phantom Organization, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're not going to get a pill stream. Stop watching it. You're not going to get a pill stream. You're only hurting yourself. You're not going to see a pill stream. What you're going to see is a conversion of the kill stream going left. You may see that. If she becomes more part of the show, becomes more part of Ethan Ralph's life, that may actually happen. It may take some time. It's either that, or you're going to get a hobo stream when Mr. Vickers buys the house and forces Ethan Ralph out. You'll get the hobo stream. You might call that the pill stream, but come on. It's a hobo stream. You know what it is. You know what it is. When he's under the overpass, he might be shooting heroin, maybe taking heroin's on this thing. You just take some pills. It gets you on a pill stream. But it's a hobo stream. Come on. Come on. It has a whole different flair to it. It's a different level than a pill stream. Eviction stream. Oh, man. It's no secret that she wants a baby. It is no secret. And she's fucking crazy. She will kill that baby. Ethan Ralph, she's going to kill your baby. You're doomed, man. Genetic dead end. That is it. That is it for you. Genetic dead end. Because even if you have a baby, she's going to kill it. She's going to eat it. Not literally. All right. So let me wrap up here. Got some stuff I have to do. And be streaming tonight. Of course, the deadmanstome podcast, if you like that sort of thing. It's more horror-based. It's a Lovecraftian challenge. It's a game show. And a lot of prizes are being handed out. A lot of monies can be handed out. Could be. Potentially could be over $200 being handed out. Other streamers, other podcasters, they like to grift. Me, I'm like a giving tree. So, there's that. Tonight at 9:30. Central Time. Anyway. You have a good one. I'll take it easy. And thank you for the super chats.